Hello and welcome back to the course of Fundamental of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. The topics that I am going to discuss in these video lectures are Introduction to Transformer, different types of transformer and its internal construction. So let us start with the definition of the transformer. Basically, transformer is a device, it is a static device which is used to step up or step down the voltage. It transfers the power from one circuit to the other circuit. AC transformer. Transformer always works on AC supply. It does not work on DC supply. So it transfers the power from one AC power from one circuit to the other circuit, but it does this operation with the same frequency. That means its input and output is having same frequency. It can raise or lower the voltage in a circuit, but corresponding decrease or increasing in the circuit. It basically works on mutual inductance. It consists of two circuits, two coils, and which are linked with the common magnetic flux. So from this, we can conclude that transformer is a static device. It does not have any rotating part. Transformer transfers the electric power from one circuit to the other circuit. It does this operation with the same frequency and it works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Now moving towards the working principle of the transformer. So here you can see one circuit is there which consists of two coils, two inductive coils, and these coils are electrically separated but magnetically coupled through a low reluctance material, known as a core. The core is laminated. It is not a single piece. It consists of number of sheets, thin lamination sheet. Steel sheets are used. Number of steel sheets are used to design the core. So the core is made up of steel sheets. Now the coils consist of high mutual inductance. Now if one coil is connected to the alternating voltage, alternating flux will be produced in that coil, and because of the alternating flux, EMF gets induced in that coil. It is known as a self-induced EMF. Now this flux will start to flow through the magnetic path, that is nothing but the core, and flux generated in one coil, most of the flux generated in one coil gets linked with the other coil. So because of the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, EMF gets induced in the other coil, which is known as a mutually induced EMF, which is denoted by M is equal to dI by dt. So we are connecting alternating voltage in one circuit, one coil, and EMF gets induced in the other coil. Now if the second coil is connected to some load, if the circuit is closed over here, then current will start to flow in the second coil. So we can say both coils are not electrically connected but are magnetically coupled. One coil is connected to the alternating voltage and current is going to be flow in the second coil. So current is transferred. So the energy is transferred from one circuit to the other circuit, and that's why the name given is a transformer, because it transfers the power from one circuit to the other circuit. The first coil in which energy is fed, in which AC supply is given, is known as a primary winding. So this is the primary winding, and the other coil from which energy is drawn out, from which we are taking the output, is known as a secondary winding. So basically transformer consists of three parts: primary winding, secondary winding, and a laminated core. Now parts of the transformer, as I told you, it consists of three parts: primary winding, secondary winding, and laminated core. Windings are made up of material which is having a low resistance, in which flux can be easily set up. The materials used for the windings are generally copper and aluminium. Now what about the laminated core? So as I told you, core is not a single piece, but it is made up of thin lamination sheets. So here you can see it consists of number of lamination sheets. So in all type of the transformer, core is constructed of sheet steels lamination. The steel used consists of high silicon content. So eddy current loss is minimized by laminating the core. So each laminations are given insulations. The laminations are insulated from each other by means of some oxidation layer, by means of some light coating. The thickness of the laminations depends on the frequency of the operation. If the frequency is 50 Hz, then thickness of the lamination should be 0.35 mm, and frequency is 25 Hz, then it should be 0.5 mm. So basically core is made up of sheet steels. So it consists of number of sheet steels which are insulated from each other by means of some oxidation layer. Now types of transformer. So basically based on the winding, how winding is done in the transformer, it can be classified into the two types, core type transformer and shell type transformer. In core type transformer, winding surrounds the considerable part of the core. So winding is around the core, and in shell type transformer, the core surrounds the considerable portion of the winding. So in this case, core surrounds the winding. In the core type, winding surrounds the core. So this is the basic difference between core type and shell type. Now, so moving towards the first type of transformer, that is a core type transformer. So as I told you, in the core type transformer, coil surrounds the core. So here you can see one rectangular core, laminated core is there, and around that coils are placed. Coils used are of wound type or cylindrical type. These vertical portions of the core are known as the limbs or legs of the core, and this horizontal portion, upper and lower part, is known as the yoke of the core. Now here the windings used are in form of cylindrical type or wound type. The general form of these coils may be circular or oval or rectangular. Then in small size of core type transformer, rectangular core is used and the winding may be cylindrical or in rectangular form, you can see here. And for large size transformer, for high voltage transformer, round or circular cylindrical coils are used, because circular cylindrical coils provides the mechanical strength. That's why it is used in most type of core type transformer. Here in simple form, you can see this is a core and this is a primary winding and secondary winding, which are placed on opposite limbs or legs. These are the limbs of the transformer and this is the yoke of the transformer. Now low voltage winding, here you can see there are the layers of the windings. So low voltage windings is placed nearer to the core because it is easy to insulate. High voltage winding is placed over the low voltage winding because it is required. High voltage winding requires high insulation, and if we provide the high insulation, then it ultimately increases the cost of the transformer. If high voltage winding is not provide the high voltage high insulation, that it will damage the core. That's why low voltage winding is first place, then high voltage winding, then again low voltage winding, then again high voltage windings are placed. We see that primary winding and secondary windings are placed on the opposite limbs, but in actual construction these are always interleaves to reduce the leakage flux. Because if primary and secondaries are placed on opposite limbs, there will be a leakage flux. So to minimize the leakage flux, to provide the tight coupling between primary and secondary winding, half of the primary winding and half of the secondary windings are placed side by side concentrically on each limbs, and not primary on one limb and secondary on the other limb. So here you can see half of the primary winding is placed over here and half of the secondary winding is also placed on one limb. So both limbs consist of primary and secondary winding, and both are concentric winding. Now, which kind of lamination sheet? What is the shape of the lamination sheet? So to design the rectangular shape, E and I types of lamination sheets are used, or 2L types of lamination sheets are used. So here you can see 2L types of lamination sheets are used, which will using that one core is designed and primary and secondary windings are wound on that strips. Now moving towards the next one is a cell type transformer. So as I told you, in cell type transformer, both windings are on the central limb. So it consists of three limbs, here you can see, and two yokes. It consists of two magnetic circuit. In this coil type transformer, only one magnetic circuit is there. The number of windings are two, primary and secondary windings. Both windings are placed on the central limb, and if both winding will be placed over here, so we can say winding is surrounded by the core over here. Some part of the winding is surrounded by the core. Number of magnetic circuits are double in this case. Types of material used to design the core is a silicon steel to reduce the hysteresis loss, eddy current losses. Types of winding, multi-layer dish type of winding are used, sandwich type of winding are used over here, primary winding, then secondary, then again primary, then secondary. Now, what about the limbs and yoke? So it consists of three limbs. The windings are placed on the central limb. Limb is a portion on which winding is placed, and yoke is a portion which is used to join the two limbs. So here you can see E and I shapes are used to design cell type transformer. It consists of three limbs and two yokes. Yoke are basically used to connect the limbs. First low voltage winding is placed, then high voltage winding is placed because low voltage winding is required less insulation as compared to the high voltage winding. So these are the differences between cell type transformer and a core type transformer. Then shapes used. So as I told you, E and I shapes are used for interleaving. And finally moving towards the comparison of core type transformer and shell type transformer. So these are the different parameters on which comparison is done. So first one is the definition. So as we have discussed in core type transformer, winding surrounds the core. In shell type, core surrounds the winding. Lamination shape, L and C and I type shapes are used. Here E, I and L shapes are used. Copper required, more coppers are required. Here less copper is required because winding is placed on the central limb. Winding type, concentric winding, cylindrical type. Here sandwich or dish type winding is used. Limbs, here there are two limbs. Here it consists of three limbs. It requires more insulation. Core type transformer and cell type transformer requires less insulation. Then flux. So flux is equally distributed on both the limbs of the core. Here main flux flows in the central limb, and in the side limbs half of the flux is flowing. Primary and secondary windings are placed on side limbs. Primary and secondary windings are placed on the central limbs. It consists of one magnetic circuit. It consists of two magnetic circuits because it consists of three limbs. It consists, the losses are more in core type transformer. In cell type transformer, losses are less. Maintenance is easy because both windings are on different limbs. Here windings are on the central limb, so maintenance is difficult. Then mechanical strength is low because considerable part of the winding is exposed to the air. Here considerable parts of the winding is surrounded by the core, so it is having a high mechanical strength as compared to the core type transformer. So these are the parameters based on core type transformer and shell type transformers are differentiated. Now moving towards the actual construction of the transformer. Construction of the transformer with the accessories. Internal, what kind of parts it consists of. So this is the one transformer tank which consists of different parts. So let us understand the function of each and every parts one by one. So it consists of parts like a core, windings, then heat exchangers are there, bushings are there, Buchholz relay is there, one tank is there which is a oil conservator tank, and one breather is there. So let us understand each and every parts in detail. So first one is a magnetic core. So here you can say magnetic core is placed in the one tank, and core is made up of silicon steel or sheet steel with low reluctance. Cores are made up of laminations to minimize the eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. And these lamination sheets are laminated or coated to minimize the iron losses and hysteresis losses, as I told you. The next one is a winding. So here you can say it consists of two windings, primary winding and secondary winding. The winding which receives the electric energy is a primary winding, and the winding from which electric energy is taken out or which delivers the electric energy to the load is the secondary winding. Windings are basically made up of materials like copper or aluminum, which is having a low resistance. Windings are electrically isolated but magnetically coupled. This tank consists of oil. So windings, the oil will be medium to isolate to provide the insulations between windings and core. Next one, the material as I told you is a copper or aluminum. The next one is a conservator tank. It is an airtight tank. You can see here it is an airtight tank which consists of oil, and it is placed at the top of the transformer. It is connected to the transformer by pipe. Now what is the function of the conservator tank? The function of the conservator tank is to take the contraction and expansion of the oil which is of the main tank. So main tank consists of oil which gets heated when supply is given to the primary winding. So if oil is heated, then it gets expansion. If oil is cooled, then it gets contraction. The function of the conservator tank is to take the contraction and expansion of the oil, but without allowing it to come into the direct contact of the air. If oil gets come into the direct contact of the air, then it loses its property in very short time. If oil loses its property in short time, then there may be a short circuit in the tank. That's why conservator tank is placed on the top of the tank. The next one is a oil. Basically, it acts as an insulating medium between winding and tank. If oil is not provided, there may be a possibility of short circuit. Now, what is the purpose of the oil? So it protects the tank from the dirt and moisture. It protects the internal part of the tank from the dirt and moisture, and it basically used for the cooling purpose. When supply is given to the coil, it may get heated. So purpose of the oil is to provide the cooling in the tank. Next one is a heat exchanger. Now, as I told you that when supply is given, oil gets heated. So it should be cooled in very short time. So heat exchanger or radiators are provided with the transformer tanks. Here you can see this is nothing but the heat exchanger or radiator. Basically, it is provided with the transformer to provide the cooling to the transformer by increasing its surface area. Next one is a bushing. So here you can say bushings are placed. So it is basically used for insulating purpose. It is used to bring out the terminals of winding from container to the external circuit. If the bushing is not provided, that winding and container gets in direct contact, so there may be a short circuit. So bushing is basically used to provide the insulation, and it brings out the terminal from container to the external circuit. So here bushings are at primary winding and secondary winding, both sides are there. There are two types of bushing: porcelain type, which is basically used up to 33 kilovolt application, and oil fill type bushings are also there, which is used in greater than 33 kVA application. Next one is a breather. Now here you can say one breather is connected with the oil conservator tank by pipe. Now we know the function of oil conservator tank is to take the expansion and contraction of the oil. Now, what is the function of the breather? So it consists of silica gel which absorbs the moisture content of the air so that oil contamination can be prevented. So breather consists of silica gel which absorbs the moisture content of the air so that oil can be prevented in the oil conservator tank. The next one is a container. So it is basically a tank which is made up of cast iron or cast steel, and it is provided with the radiator. It consists of winding, core and oil. Next one is a Buchholz relay. So here you can see one relay is there between oil conservator tank and main tank. So it is basically to provide the tank from internal fault. So it is a gas operated relay. It operates the gases due to any internal faults of the transformer. If any internal fault is there in the transformer, then oils get burned out, and because of that gases are produced. So it is a gas actuated relay or gas operated relay. So what is the function of that? It gives the alarm to the operator so that it can disconnect the transformer from the main supply. So if internal faults occur, then Buchholz relay will be operated and transformer can be disconnected from the main supply so that further damage to the transformer can be prevented. So basically Buchholz relay is used to provide the protection to the transformer under any fault condition. So this is all about the today's video lecture. In this video lecture, I have discussed about the working principle of transformer, core type and shell type of transformer, and internal construction of transformer with that part. Hope you have enjoyed the video. See you soon in the next video of the transformer. Thank you for watching.